Hello and welcome to Tier 1 Round 12 Hungary. Today with us we've got Ricky and we've got Oaksy. Welcome guys.
Good evening.
Thank you. Yeah, should be a good one. Should be in for a treat if it's anything like last night's race. Should spice up the viewing this evening. Thank you all for joining. Ricky, what's your thoughts on this evening? How are you feeling?
I'm thinking Alcatia needs a good result, and we might see the best of him tonight.
Yeah, I think he needs to pull his socks up a little bit with the new rivalry of Calzo in the Renault, who's unfortunately not here this evening. So we shall see how this pans out.
Yeah, I was just going to say that with Calzo not here, it's a good opportunity for Lego to extend his lead over Al. Sorry, Calzo and Al, get another win, get further in front. Force India's looking strong with Ferrero Rocher there as well.
Yeah, it looks like it should be quite an interesting race really. It's a shame we've got Calzo not here tonight to spice up the front runners a bit more, but I think we should have quite an interesting race. How many runners we reckon we're going to have by the end is going to be interesting, especially with what happened last night in Tier 2. I'm sure everyone knows about that one. But who's your, you two guys, what's your top 3 predictions for qualifying then?
Top 3 predictions. I'm almost certain Al's going to be top 3 at least. Probably on pole. Fruitful Coop, another one to watch out for. And then just thinking, I think it might be interesting. I think it gives a chance for a couple of other guys that have been out of the limelight to really cement a good position here. This was only 14 drivers. Lego's the other one I would say would be up there.
Well, I'm going to disagree there because I think most of them will go on the soft. So I'm going to go for the lesser guys like Officer Wan, Javi, and someone like a Wizard, who might have to try the ultra soft because this season doesn't look on the pace of the front, so might have to mix it up a little bit.
He's always been a consistent driver, though. The Wizard, he always pulls out the top stops,
With the field being so small, it gives a hell of a lot of advantage to the like if someone was to go on the medium in the first stint.
100%. I think I still think the soft to medium strategy probably is the fastest strategy, but medium to soft is very, very close. But I think you just lose so much pace at the start with the higher fuel load, and then being on the medium. I think your pace is so slow at the start compared to being on the soft. Over a race run, it's actually quicker to go soft to medium. But the ultra soft to medium is a possibility of working. So depends really. Just have to see what these guys do.
Well, I'm going to disagree there, Phil, because I think the medium to soft is the quickest strategy, but it isn't the optimum strategy because you lose that much position. If you did a medium to soft run, I think it would, and there's no one on track, I think that would be quicker than soft to medium. But because you lose track position and you're behind cars, that's where the soft first stint is better. So I would still say the medium to soft is the better strategy, but race strategy is probably going to be soft to medium.
I think another thing to consider is if you're on the softer compound, and you could well be hoping for a VSC or a safety car, if it's anything like last night, then going on the softer compounds at the start of the race could give you that edge if there's a collision.
100%. And Race Boys just set the fastest time at the moment, a 1:19.8 on the set of mediums. We've got a Smarto on mediums at the moment. Good half the field at the moment are on the mediums, which is probably because they've gone to the harder choice of tyres, which is the most sensible idea at the moment.
I have got a few in the ultra soft runners as well, though. Maybe just getting a slow banker lap in, just not a bad idea. If you want to use up a spare a set of ultra softs and just maybe slow down in sector 3 just to cement that top 10 position, and then go for your hot lap after, as we've got Smato top on the soft runner, 18.1, but we will definitely see that time decrease as the
I think that
session
time is definitely beatable though, isn't it? 1:18.1, especially on definitely on softs. I mean that's probably a good medium time, but definitely not a quick enough soft time, especially being the top side of the 10.
Yeah, I'm just watching Two Spell come around the last corner now.
Yeah, I'm
on
just
the mediums.
on board with him at the moment. He goes across the line, 1:18 dead on the medium. That's a really good time.
Guys, just a battle that I know there will be some needle from last week is Raceboy and Perez. Perez and Raceboy had several collisions last week, so I'm expecting fireworks tonight.
Yeah, it's certainly a bit of rivalry between those two, and it's more than just a little love tap that happened last week.
Definitely. I mean, Raceboy's just gone quickest, just got into the first person to get into the 17s on a 17.912 on the mediums. So I mean, it proves Smarto's time wasn't really quick enough on the softs because of the fact that we've had two people already beating his time. And I think
Jordan also on his second consecutive lap on the mediums. He set a 1:21 on his first lap and he's continued the run. So those mediums should be up to temperature now, and a lot easier to get those scrub tyres up to temp as he comes into sector 3.
Ferrero Rocher's on a flyer. Jose Ferrero Rocher, I believe his name is, and very much someone who's come alive in the last few races in the championship, pushing Force India above the Mercedes for the first time this season.
Yeah, shot there was Mercedes in 181 points and Force India in
14.9. So that's a flat out quali lap, so he will be starting on the ultras.
Yeah, I'm surprised he went on the ultras so early on in the session, before the track evolution. But you know, if he feels he can be his fastest lap, and
yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I see both Force India's going for the. I don't think the two stops on. I gotta be honest. I think they're going to go for the one stop. You know,
it's definitely possible.
The ultra soft to medium, I think it's definitely possible because in my race from last night, I ended up doing, I think about 26 laps in the mediums, 27 laps, and they were still comfortably, you know, they were about 55-60%. I think the ultra soft to medium is definitely doable because the tyre never really dropped off, to be honest. So I think I could be surprised.
Roland did. I think it was like 8 or 9 laps on the ultras. So if you can get them at 8 or 9 laps, the mediums can comfortably do it.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing with running out at the end, they are comfortable near the end, but it's just if you come up against the guys who are on the softer compound, you're constantly defending. I did 25-26 laps in the mediums last night, and I think there was Mitch and somebody else came up behind me with softer compounds, and I was just defending for my life. But these guys are all quite consistent with their times, you know. Got
as it stands,
fastest 14.9.
As it stands at the moment, Ferrero Rocher is on provisional pole, 1:14.9, with Lego Minecraft only 4 thousandths behind him, both on the ultra softs. Then the next runner, which is 1:16.7, which is actually a very good time on the mediums, by Altakir, and then all the way down to 11th we're on mediums. Then we've got Smarto in 12th, Thomas in 13th, and Officer Joanne, who hasn't set a lap yet, is on his out lap at the moment in 14th.
Yeah, it's a very good lap from Altakir, but he will have to go out on the soft because, yeah, he's going to be really down there if that's his time.
Just trying to see if anyone's on the lap at the moment. I think Two Spells.
No, Raceboy's coming out. He's in the penultimate corner.
Well, Ralphin's going for another lap at the moment, so I'm on board with him at the moment.
There you go.
He's just gone on his third lap.
It's interesting to see the ERS deployment, how these guys can really control how they use ERS throughout their hot lap. I was looking at Raikkonen through the pit straight. He was only on mode 3 or 4, and he's still continuing to save that just for the final sector, because you will run out of ERS by the time you get to pit straight.
For the moment, he's dropped into
extra 10 or 2.
yeah, he's dropped into mode 3 on the ERS through the middle sector at the moment.
And to be honest with you guys, I think that's the biggest difference between all three tiers is the ability to be quick and save the ERS, where I know quite a few people can do it, but the majority can't do it.
Yeah,
end up back now his lap.
Yeah, he must have invalidated somewhere there. It's just backed out. Not sure if he will go for another run.
Race boys on a flyer, guys, into just coming at the end of sector 2.
Yeah, I'm just on board with him at the moment. Yeah, I mean he's staying on the hot lap. Not got a lot left, 40%.
He's
see what time he can do. He's still on their mediums as well, though. 5 laps on those mediums still.
Raikkonen's lost it going into the pits. He's lost it going into the pits.
Oh, what?
Wow.
Who we got coming?
I'd like to know what happened there. It looks like he's gone over the curve. He's gone over the curve and he's locked up and he's gone into the barrier. Wow.
Yeah, that's exactly what I actually did in my qualifying yesterday. Coming in on in lap, just put a wheel on the little bit of grass by accident, and then that was it. It was out.
The only difference there is Raikkonen actually managed to set a time. Unfortunately, last night, I mean, it is so slippy going into that pit entry.
The curve is really high as well.
Yes, just on board with Raceboy, he did seem a bit twitchy there, going up over the hill at turn 4. Left-handers, it's a difficult part of this track, and so you will see a lot of guys lose it. Just with the elevation change. And
I think I'm a bit concerned, guys, why Wizard has come out on mediums with 7 minutes to go and he's in 13th position. I don't understand it. Like, I know he can probably improve, but he isn't realistically going to improve 6 tenths, so I don't understand this.
The question is, will he even have time to set a lap, cool down lap, and get on a softer compound if he wishes? I mean, it looks like he's just going for the medium soft.
Yeah, but I don't understand it because I mean, look at Ralcon, 16.9. He can beat that on softs.
True. Yeah, unless he's just looking to go mediums for the first stint and then just drag them out and go the ultras at the end. I mean, he is a wizard after all, so he's got something up his sleeve.
We got on board with Javi Alonso at the moment, and he's still on the mediums. 3 laps onto the mediums. He's on a 17.7. Let's see if he's up on his time at the moment.
His car looks so twitchy around sector 2.
Yeah, it does. He hasn't invalidated at all. He's still pushing on the lap. Yeah. Around quite wide.
I think he should pit. I think he should pit here.
Yeah, he's pitting. Yeah. See if 2 spells.
Yeah.
If he's on the lap at all. Yeah.
MP, just wanted to ask you, where do you stand on the whole 2 runs versus 1 runs on the soft? I'm personally a fan of the 2 runs, just in case the first one invalidates. But I know some people can smash it in 1 lap, but I think it's careless.
I don't know if it's. I think it just depends on the person. Like, if you're not confident with doing that 1 lap, and you're not confident that you can not invalidate, you get a nice clean lap and a good lap, fast lap in, then I always think the 1 run is quicker. Unless you're on like the hardest compound, then ideally you need to do probably 2 or 3 laps on them. But I'd say the softs, you could probably get away with doing 2 laps, but they probably do lose a little bit on their second lap probably. But it depends if you can find more time out yourself out of the lap, really, isn't it? But I think it just depends on the person, doesn't it? Really, it depends on the driver themselves. I personally usually just set myself up to do 1 lap. I don't usually, not anymore, do I do 2 laps anyway. But these guys should, the level they're at. I think the level they're at, though.
Yeah, I'd agree, but on a track where track position is 90% of the result, I would want as much chance as possible. And I just don't think Wizard has given himself that best chance because
he's just come in
4
now
minutes
anyway.
left. He's not. Yeah, but he's got to get in first, then he's got to get out, then he's got to, outlap. So I would say he's only got one lap.
Yeah, I think the latest you can come out here before quality ends is 2:10, and it's really personal preference and how much the driver can withstand the pressure of a one lap. Like you said, with the softs and the 2 runs, is you would feel more comfortable. Me personally, doing 2 runs on a soft, but it's then that extra, 2 laps more during the race. So it's really down to the drivers. As I'm watching Officer Juan come into the final sector here, he's on a hot lap on the ultra softs.
Yeah, he's on his second set of them.
Yeah, he actually sent in an absence, so he wasn't going to race till he made it.
He's just boxed, actually.
Boxing. I think he's got time to go out and come back in.
Yeah,
It'll be tight.
That's going to be very tight. He's going to have to push flat out on his.
I think he'll be alright. Smarter with like a hell of a chance. He's been picking up the results lately and showing some form that he had last season in Tier 2.
JV1 just goes 4th, 1:16.3, knocks Allen to 5th.
That's a very, very solid lap.
I mean, it just proves how good that time of Altakir did on their mediums. He's only 2/10 away from what Jamie 1S did, and they're on 2 completely different tyre compounds. Like, just how good that time is, really.
I think Al is probably concerned about dropping down the order a little bit. It's on his flyer and softs now. Coming up to turn 4, does run a little bit wide. There might have been an invalidation there.
Jago's on flying lap.
Moment. Yeah, he's got Jamie 1S just in front of him.
Oh, he must have invalidated it. That's an invalidation, surely.
He's kept on going though.
Still pushing.
Yeah. Maybe he's just got away with it.
It doesn't look a very quick lap.
No, it looks a bit.
It does look a
scrappy,
bit,
doesn't
a
it?
bit shoddy.
Wizard, what are you doing, mate? You need to get a lap in.
I mean, who's
I'll tell you something, that said, he's looking very tail happy.
Who else we got on laps at the moment?
Jordan only has 40% ERS.
He didn't actually, he never actually validated.
He split the
Well, what's Jordan doing? He's gonna have to use him as a slipstream, surely. Jordan, what are you doing, mate? We're having some teamwork here. Jordan, you need to get out of the way. Oh, this is messy. This is messy from the McLarens.
Might be some team orders going on, but Jordan does have to push.
No, it'll only benefit you down the straight. Around here, it'll be horrible.
You're losing more than what you actually gain down the straights from, with
especially
with
turn 4 that we're coming up to now at 30 years, not going to help too
He's
well.
completely missed his turning point as well.
I don't think this is a... Yeah, I've got to question the McLaren's thought process here between Wizard only going out for the 1 when he had time for 2.
To be honest, he's still got plenty of time left as well, though. So it's he could have
20 seconds, right?
Yeah. Oh, is he not? He's not actually. Oh, he's not actually. Yeah, he's on his flying lap at the moment, isn't he? So he still he could have backed out near the end of the lap to get him some space, and he hasn't done it. Jay Ghosh is on his lap time as well, so he obviously wasn't going to slow down or let him go or anything like that. It's a bit of a surprise, really.
On ball with race players, he comes into the third from last corner.
Jay Ghosh jumps up to 10th. 2 spells. He only jumped 1 position. 2 spells. He got so compromised from that lap.
It was a messy lap, and a poor qualifying from the McLarens. Race point P8.
Yeah, P8.
Jordan, if he has any brain cells in his head, he should go on to mediums, I think.
Yeah, he's in the prime spot, really, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
P11. So, but the thing is, it is quite a big risk, because if there's, if you get wing damage at the start, it just ruins your whole strategy. Really, that is the only problem going with the harder compound.
P3.
Yeah, solid lap from Officer 1, very solid. I mean, it's not the quickest of times, but it is P3.
At least it bumps himself up the order.
He's just demonstrating the pace he has.
Ferrero Rocher improves on his time as well by 700ths, 14.7's looking like. Pole position lap unless Lego can do anything about that. It does, 14.6.
Nice.
Great
nice.
lap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
it means nothing at this point.
Well, that's the thing. They're on a different strategy. Really, the person who's in the prime position is Altakir at the moment because once he stays out longer on his first stint, once he comes back out, he could potentially be ahead of these guys, depending on how their pace is really in the race. So it's going to be interesting to see what Altakir being the front runners of the soft runners compared to the top three on the ultras, to see after the first stint where everyone is really. So right, we got Lego Minecraft on pole, Ferrero Rocher in P2, Officer Juan in P3, Altakir in P4, Fruitful Coot in P5, Thomas in P6, Perez in P7, Jamie in P8, Raceboy in 9th, Javi in 10th, Ghost in 11th, Railcon unfortunately crashed out in that session in P12, Two Spells in 13th, and Smarto rounds out the 14 runners.
I'm going to put it on there. I fancy Railcon for the podium. He's in P12. I know he's quick, I know he has the pace, but medium to soft. I don't think he'll get it if he does the soft to medium. So, yeah.
Thing is, it's just going to be a waiting game.
Trick there, though, isn't he? Smarto's really missed a trick there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think, from what you were saying, really with Railcon, I think showing us what pace he had on those mediums in qualifying, he's quite comfortably probably top 5 pace, quite comfortably. So it'd be interesting to see what strategy he goes with. And the only problem is with him going on the mediums is the little bit of lack of pace at the start of the race, but then it will come back to him halfway through the race when everyone else stops. So it's a bit. It depends on how, if he loses too much in the first half of the stint, really.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is the top 10 are all on soft, so they're going to lose time to them anyway. So he won't actually lose that much time because I'd imagine everyone around him would be on the same tyre. So if he is generally quicker, he will overtake them anyway, and then he'll have clear air.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna have to see how it goes, really. So I mean,
I think the 4, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think the smart thing is to all go on mediums. I don't think they've got anything to lose.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best option for them guys is for that, really, to get himself in the points at least, anyway, or chance of decent scoring some decent points. Right, what I was going to ask you guys is, who's going to be your shock of the race? I think that's quite a good question, really.
The shock of the race.
The shock of the race. I mean, in the sense of impressive, not a shock of disappointment. Shock of impressiveness, impressed drive, from what we've seen so far.
I think we're going to get someone outside the top 10 on the podium. Is going to be my prediction for stunning drive. I think it wouldn't surprise me if Jordan gets at least top 5.
The problem with Jordan is he makes one mistake and it seems to go to his head.
He kicks himself.
He wants to quit all the time. I think if he can keep his head, he's on for a good race.
Would you guys suggest, starting from the mediums, do you think medium soft is the safest way to go, or just eke out the mediums and go ultras at the end?
No,
I think that'd be a possibility.
I think personally, if someone does it, I think it's actually a possibility it could actually happen, and actually could work, because where you're on the lower fuel load, on the near the end of the race, you could probably do 10 laps quite comfortably on the ultras, with the lower fuel load. But the problem is you'll probably find on that second stint on the ultras that the tyre would just drop away probably quite considerably in the last 3 or 4 laps. So you probably find you won't end up really gaining much from it. It's still probably going to be safer going medium to soft. But it'd be interesting if someone does do it.
Yeah, as predicted, all 4 have gone on mediums, and I just want to say, effectively, the medium runners are racing the front 3 because they will come out around them and they will both have to pit on the same tyre. So don't discount the medium runners just yet. They are going to be up there for good points.
Yep.
Yeah,
I do find it quite interesting how we've got all 3 compounds start the grid and they're all in their own section of the grid. So we've got top 3 in the ultra soft, and then from 4th to 10th in the soft, and then 11th, 14th in the medium. So we've essentially got 3 different types of race.
The interesting thing from that as well, it proves how close the grid actually is, because you know, amongst the other tiers you'd find with the 3 different compounds they would actually be split up a little bit more, not in sections like that. So it kind of proves to you how close the how close tier 1 is really. Just because the distinction between the pace difference between the 3 different tyres, so it's actually worked out probably where it should be really, realistically.
Yeah, I think we're in for a cracker here, lads.
I
think so.
My podium is going to be, I think I'll. Oh yeah,
Thomas and Perez are just been disqualified.
Yeah, hi Penny. Yeah, I think Fruitful, Coot, and Owl are good for 1 and 2. I think Alcatia for the win. Fruitful for 2nd, and I'm going to go for Perez 3rd. Sorry, Ralcom 3rd. I'm going to go for P12 into 3rd.
Yeah,
if the Ferraris get the strategy right, Fruitful and Thomas could have a chance at podium.
They're on their first 3 because they're on the complete quickest tyre.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
We've got
a terrible angle here of the leaders. Yeah, here we go, 5 lights, and away we go.
Malcolm jump start. P12.
It's quite a clean start from the lot of guys there. Oh,
Malcolm's jump started, so he's gonna have to pit.
Oh, that's ruined his top 3 ambitions.
Alcatia's passed out Officer 1. That's vital, but Officer 1 has the inside.
Oh, he could fight. He's going to fight back though. Oh, he touches him.
Officer 1. Yeah.
Oh,
forceful.
That was nearly a collision between Fruitful and Alcatia as well.
Probably just get away with that one.
We had any? Oh, there's one guy off and the Ralcon's off.
It's Ralcon. It's Ralcon.
Yeah.
So not only has he got a jump start, he's got damage as well.
Red Bull round. Officer 1's round. He's spun. I'll clip the back of him and he's spun at turn 5. Officer.
And I'm on board.
Well, I mean, that was much cleaner than the tier 2 start though, to be fair.
He's retired on track, which unfortunately will be penalty coming his way.
I mean, to be honest, in the situation he is with the amount of runners there are, he could quite easily have stayed in the race and just, you know, tried putting on a set of mediums, see if they last to the end, and then see if he could just grab some points.
Well.
Yeah, he did, but I mean, I don't blame him because 1, he's on the wrong strategy, and 2, he's last.
Yeah, but if some other people crash out,
so he would have probably been about 40 seconds behind. Should change his name to Officer DNF. Brilliant. Well, to be honest with you, I'm surprised he turned up, so we should call it Officer Turned Up on once.
Officer 1 lap.
Yeah, for 1 lap. Nice input, man. Nice input. But there's a nice little battle going on here.
I mean, Altakia is staying with these guys though. He's still within a second. Oh,
Ralcon's
is just
Ralcon's retired. Perez is in the pit.
Yes, I mean, if you look at it from that point, as Juan stayed in the race, he'd only be one or 2 places away from points. So
has Raceboy got damage because he seems to be dropping off the back of Javi, and Jay Ghost is all over him.
I think he's
Raceboy has got damage front left.
Yeah, he's front left. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, around here you really can't afford any sort of downforce problems.
Even once it goes yellow around here, it's so aero dependent around this track.
I think we might see Raceboy pit here.
Especially on that left side, that sector 3 through that.
Yeah, look how slow he is. He just can't in. It's like 8 points in.
Yeah, he stays out though.
Yeah. It's
great
interesting
he's
to
got-
see how far Lego can push them ultras. Obviously, he's got the tyre advantage and pace advantage right now, but Altakir only 1.2 seconds behind on a much durable tyre.
It's not even
We're
that,
kind
it's
of at the
8
point
tenths.
now where the ultras are going to be starting to just lose their performance.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
mean, as it stands at the moment, we've got Lego Minecraft leading from Ferrero Rocher. I mean, majority of the grid is pretty much where it was near enough. The only people who gained the most, really, more than anything, has been Javi and Smarto. Smarto started off at the back, and he's in
Altakir
point
needs to be
position at the
really
moment.
careful here.
Yeah, he's risking losing some wing damage if he gets
He
impatient.
is. I mean, I get that he's quicker.
Ferrero Rocher's going for the move on Lego Minecraft, and he gets it
Makes
done.
it stick.
I think we're seeing
Nice
some
clean
teamwork
move.
here.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
Altakir's. Oh, he's looking. He's on the outside though for the last turn though. Really not where he wants to be.
I don't know, I think you'll get a better slingshot round here now.
Oh, it's a squeeze that is.
Alcatir's got DRS, I think.
Yeah, he's got
Look
DRS,
at
but so's
Fruitful
Lego
Coot as well,
Minecraft.
he's having a look.
He's going. Oh, is he going to send it in? No. Lego Minecraft parks it quite nicely.
Yeah,
I
he's
thought
doing
about
really
it,
well
but
there.
this is just letting Fruitful Coot gain on these two guys who are battling.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I don't
Fruitful's
understand
out there.
why Alcatir's getting involved here. He doesn't need to battle him, he's going to finish ahead of them.
Yeah. His biggest
Right.
concern is Fruitful Coot behind him on the same compound.
That's
Maybe
fine,
he's just
but
trying to
he's-
put a
he's-
gap between the two of them. You know, get Altakir's trying to get past Lego and then do his normal thing where he gets in the lead and just try and controls the race really.
No, I think what we're seeing here is basically the Force Indians are concerned that Ferrero Rocher doesn't have the pace, and Lego is basically doing the number 2 job. And
Yeah.
Yes.
you can already see the advantage that Ferrero Rocher's pulled out. So he's effectively creating that bubble where he can come and rejoin.
Yeah.
So I think we'll
I
see
mean,
the effects of this in the second stint for sure.
fair play to Lego for backing the field up and letting Ferrero Rocher get ahead. I mean, it's 2.1 seconds in front now.
Yeah, I mean
Right,
we
yeah.
got
The train.
A couple of
we've
laps ago, it
got
was
second to sixth at the
within a
moment,
second.
just covered by like, you know, just over a second. Second to sixth is. I mean that's mental really.
Yeah, Lego dives early to the inside to defend.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
I think
Al's
he.
locked up his front right.
He's going
I
to go for the
think
switch
I'll-
back inside.
Yeah, I
Got
favour
missed.
the outside around turn 2, but Lego's covered it off. He's covered it off really well.
Yeah, I think it's just such a hard track to overtake it. Really, I mean, he's got to just send it in somewhere. That's the only
Altair,
problem.
what you doing, mate? Just ease it down, mate. Ease it down. What are you doing? You're being too aggressive.
He's bullying him.
Oh,
That's a big-
Alcatir,
that's a big
what are you
move.
doing, mate?
That was a poor move, very poor.
That's 100% Alcatir's fault. What's he doing? He's... It's just... I mean, Lego, you're going to have to give that position back, mate. You just completely cut the chicane. That's not good driving from Alcatir. That's not the way it's supposed to be
No.
done, mate.
He's
He's
just
just got
forcing way
impatient.
through.
Very impatient, and it's, yeah, like you say, Phil, poor characteristics of the person who
Well, I mean, you
is
know, you
fighting for the
wouldn't.
championship.
I mean, I don't know if he's actually got any wing damage at all, but I mean, really, he probably should have done. I think he might. I think he's actually got away with it, to be honest.
Well,
I think he has.
I think Lego will 100% be sending that in, and if he isn't, he should. Ferrero Rocher pits.
I think Lego's actually got some wing damage from that. I think. Oh yeah, oh, Lego send it in.
Oh, Lego.
Standing on the inside, it was a good move. Can he make it stick?
I think that's kind of. You know, that might be a
No, I
little
don't-
bit of revenge from all
We're
that.
gonna get fireworks, guys.
Yeah, but
And now
nah,
Taki
to
just
be fair,
runs them out of road.
well, to be fair, that was always going to happen in my book.
Got Fruitful Coot got a good run up to turn 4 though. He's right up the back of that Force India.
I don't think there was any. Personally, I don't think there was anything wrong with that turn 2 battle. It was an ambitious move. It was never realistically going on. You know, he's on worse tyres, so. But yeah, fair play.
At this stage of the race, he is
But
now. He's definitely on worse tyres now than what Altakir is on.
Oh yeah, 100%. But
I mean,
the move, the lap before was just, yeah, that's really not the way to do it. And I think Lego basically that turn one dive is a little bit of a
Yeah, a taste of his own medicine.
You pissed me off there.
Yeah, I mean, I really
Well,
think.
Ferrero Rocher, they must be going for a two-stop because Ferrero Rocher's just stopped for a set of softs.
Lego,
so he's definitely
I think,
going for a two-stop.
Yeah, but I think Lego's going to stretch it for a one, you know.
Yeah, I think he's going to go for a one onto the mediums. Probably around about maybe lap 9 or 10. I mean, it's going to help him being in the DRS zone as well to out of gear.
I mean, fair play to Lego. He doesn't look like he's losing that much time.
Maybe he was just backing the field up, trying to look after his tyres, so then he could stretch his first stint out. And now he's behind, he can, you know, try and go at our pace, and then they just drop off, you know, round about the lap 9 or 10. Maybe it wasn't what we were thinking of. He was trying to hold him up for his healthy teammate.
I still think he was doing that because it would still benefit his teammate.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of it is really...
That was the case. Yeah.
And we got Jamie 1S's on the back of this back. I mean, Javi hasn't really lost... He hasn't really lost that much time, to be honest. Oh, not Javi, sorry, Ferrero. I mean, he's in nice clean air at the moment, 4 seconds away from 2 spells. So it'd be interesting to see if his strategy works, doing 2 stops.
And at the minute, Jay Ghost only 7.5 seconds behind the leader on a Harley compound. So
Lego's just pitted.
Lego has just pitted, and I'm going to go on board with Lego to see what compound he does go on.
The Fruitful's second, just outside the DRS now.
It's the soft, so it is a 2-stop.
I know.
I'm quite surprised that he's waited as long as he has then if he's 2-stopping.
Yeah, and how far behind Roche does he come out? Because that did not do him any justice.
Well, Ferrero Rocher is 15 seconds off the lead at the moment. Lego lost 6 seconds. 6 seconds from that battle with, you know, out of gear, and also probably staying out longer. He's the first person to get a 3-second penalty.
You got Alcatia, then the 2 Ferraris. Jamie's hanging on. I think at this point Thomas is quicker than Fruitful, but that could be because of the you know, the DRS and whatnot.
I mean, Thomas is right behind Fruitful at the moment, so it'll be interesting. Obviously, where they're so close, they won't be able to stop on the same lap. They have to stop a lap apart from each other.
So
that's
it could be a multi-21 here. And the big thing to take note of here is the difference in ERS between Mercedes and 2 Ferraris behind. I think Thomas will just use up all that ERS and try get within DRS of
I mean, out of gear is on 27% at the moment, so he's not really saving it. He's still sitting on medium at the moment, so he's not trying to save it too much. Yeah, I mean, both the Ferraris are in quite a nice position, especially Fruitful. He's on 95% ERS at the moment, and he's still trying to save it a little bit. Oh, I think we missed that one. Thomas has got past Fruitful.
Yeah, I was saying it looked like a bit of team orders rather than an actual move.
Yeah, just DRS straight at the pit lane. Fruitful wasn't going to defend that heavily against his own teammate.
So at the moment it's just...
Jay Ghost has got smarter for company up in P6 and 7.
Yeah, I mean it's actually fairly quiet at the moment.
Ferrero Rocher's just past Wizard, but he's just clipped in his back wheel. It wasn't anything like, nothing will come of it, but like he did kind of just push him out of the way slightly.
I mean, I think he's probably got away with that because he hasn't got any wing damage or anything. So
yeah, no, it was nothing. There's no penalty for it. It's just a bit careless, shall we say?
Javi in the pits now.
Yeah,
going on to mediums from the softs,
and he's having nose cone change as well. That's probably why he's coming.
Yeah, I
I thought
the I thought softs could at least went to lap 14, 15, but I mean he must have just felt that wing damage was impeding on his times too much.
I mean, as it stands at the moment, Ferrero Rocher he's still 15 seconds off the lead at the moment, but he's obviously keeping that gap, which is not really what he wants to do. He needs to be at least closing that down to probably ideally within about 5 seconds of Al-Takir to make this two stop really work.
Yeah, but he's got 25 laps of being on the quicker tyre compared to the guys at the front now, so he has got 25 laps to close down that amount of time, which is doable, 100% doable.
100%. Well, Thomas is 2.4 back from Al-Takir. I don't think this is really working for Thomas and Fruitful though, because Thomas hasn't really pulled away from Fruitful at all. Fruitful's still right there within him. So really swapping them around isn't really... We're doing the real life version of Ferrari at the moment, where they swapped around. It's not benefited them.
Was that reminiscent in Spain, was it?
China, I think it was.
China.
Yeah, it's not really benefiting them at all. And the problem is it's going to cost them more time if they swap back around again as well. So they need to kind of stay where they are, really.
The one good thing that they have is Alcatia has 2 warnings, so he's one away from 3 seconds.
I think how many people so far have got penalties at the moment? I think it's Jay Ghost and I think there was one other, wasn't there?
I'm pretty sure it was just Jay Ghost. Ralcon for the jump start, but
yeah. So as it stands, 11 laps in, we've got 12 runners at the moment, with Al-Takir, Thomas and Fruitful as your top 3, and some slightly mixed strategies going on at the moment, with the 2 Force Indias going on the 2-stop, and looks like the rest of the field are going for 1-stops.
I just want to say, with the 2 Ferraris, they're clearly very, very similar on pace. If you're Jamie, do you think about jumping onto the mediums early and hoping that they battle?
The thing is, I think
possibly jumping them, because you do lose time on that first lap. But if they're battling, you're not going to lose half as much time.
I think probably the overcut is probably more powerful than what the undercut is, going from the soft to the medium, because the mediums take at least a lap just to come on.
It is, but if they're battling, then
yeah, I think if they're...
You see what I'm saying? You're not really losing that time.
No, you won't at all. And that also, they've got obviously where the 2 Ferraris are right next to each other, it could work out. Jamie could potentially, undercut one of the Ferraris, where they've got to go separate from each other, a lap apart from each other on the pit stops. So he could potentially jump one of them in the pits. I think that's definitely a possibility. Yeah, I mean, at the moment, which is going to be the interesting one, I'm just trying to see what medium runners at the moment are. I mean, you got Jay Ghost sitting in 5th at the moment on the mediums, so he could potentially be in quite a good position later on once he puts the softs on. The same as Smarto right behind him. Obviously they're quite a long way back, but they'll probably gain that back later on once they're on the softs.
Just looking at the chat, it looks like
Smarto going down the inside of Jay Ghost.
Looks like Alcatia.
Alton Ferrero Rocher's right in there, and he's going to go down the inside of Jay Ghost.
There he goes.
Yeah, a big battle for 5th going on right now.
Oh no!
Oh, Smarto's lost it!
Smarto's lost
it, and he's collected Javi. Ferrero Rocher. Jay Ghost is loving life.
I think, lucky enough, none of them actually got any wing damage from that. They're all very, very lucky to escape that one.
Oh. I was on broadcast mode, so I actually missed part of that around that turn, because for some reason the camera doesn't view that side of the track when they're going around turn 2.
I mean, at the moment, Ferrero Rocher, he's lost 1.5 seconds to Al-Takir.
Thomas is pitting.
Yeah.
So,
be interesting.
What are we thinking the pit stop is? 21 seconds.
It's about 20 odd seconds, yeah. But you actually gain round here. It's actually slightly quicker to the line going in the pits. very slight.
We also have Ferrer Rocher picked up damage, so he's fucked him again. He's gonna have to go on the mediums. Oh, this has absolutely torn the strategy to pieces.
Oh no!
And this is the problem with the two-shot that keeps coming back in traffic. That narrow track.
Oh, Fruitful's got a 3 second as well.
3 seconds. Jamie promoted up to key 2 at the minute.
So I mean, to be honest, the person who's sitting in probably quite a good position is actually Thomas, because he hasn't got a 3 second penalty, and amongst the top 3 before the pit stops just happened, you know, technically he'd be leading the race from where he was.
I think this is the lap where Alcatia should pit, because he will come out in between Smarto and 2 spell, and
Rocher at the back of the grid.
He's pitting. Oh my god, Al, he's tried to take the curb going into the pits and he's lost the back end, just about kept it.
Fruitful Cook's in the pits as well.
And Jamie 1S carries on.
He's going to get held up. He's going to get held up. Oh, he just avoids it. So Alcatia, where is he?
Thing is,
Jay Ghost is coming down the pit straight.
Ooh.
Jay Ghost is just going to come out in front, and so is Lego.
Lego's going down the inside of Jordan.
Oh, Lego, I mean...
3 seconds for that. Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
He's pushing him so hard. And he's just trying to nudge him out of the way.
Well, he's just hitting him past him. That's not okay. No, that's not okay, Lego. He's just basically hit him to create the opening.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same kind of move as what Al did earlier into the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
He's in now.
Yeah,
so it's pretty much a spitting image, right. Really.
But I don't know, like, the move into 2 and 1 was a lunge, and Jordan was in his own right to close off the gap because it was a very late lunge. Yeah, questionable.
I mean, to be honest, Lego, I mean, he still could have potentially an opportunity. I don't even think he can get a podium from where he is. I think he just lost too much time battling with Altakia early on in the race to actually get an opportunity to even get points, you know, top 3 really. Especially with, you know, you got Jamie 1S on the strategy he's on as well, and he was right up there, and with Thomas and Fruitful. I mean, they're only. I think he's going to struggle even to get a top 5, maybe.
I think he's P5 at the minute.
Yeah, I think so. P5, P6. You know, when you're starting from pole, that's not really where you want to be.
Yeah, but that's the kind of strategy that Ultras is, isn't it? We know that. That's realistically.
Personally, I think if I was him, I would have egged it out, and I would have gone. I would have personally probably gone 1 stop and just eked out the ultras, because he already started eking it out already, so he might as well just taken the gamble and gone to the mediums. At least he would have had an opportunity to probably get more towards getting a podium then, instead of the position he's in at the moment.
Yeah. Well, Alcatia's got Jordan in front of him. Jordan won't be pitting for quite a few more laps, so it's important that Al clears him very, very soon. He's now got his car up to 10th, so no reason why he can't do it on this lap.
Got our leader in, Jamie 1, 15 laps on the softs.
Jamie 1 should come out around 2 spell, I think.
Yeah, I think he's going to come out either just in front of him or just behind him. It's going to be quite tight.
Look at the grip difference between Alcatia and Josh. There we go, pit lane straight. Al chooses the outside. It's clean. It's good battling, guys.
I think Jordan he's got this one. He's definitely got this one.
Yeah, just 100%. Slight break later and he's got it. Switch back by Jordan. Can't make it.
I think those tyres are kind of screaming that they've had enough probably by now.
Yeah, they are.
They're screaming at him that they want to come off the car at this minute.
Yeah, and you can see it with his line. He's not even thinking about touching that inside curve.
It's just traction. The biggest you lose at the moment is traction. It's so critical around this track. The traction points and the corners, the carrying the corner speed around this track. That once the tyre goes off, it don't just go off a small bit. It goes off quite a lot, and you lose so much time across the lap compared to other tracks that we go to. So he's probably at a point now where I think he could actually stop, to be honest. Just because with the lighter fuel load later on in the race, the softs aren't going to be eating up as much as you would if you started on the tyre at the start of the race. So he could potentially stop now, really.
Yeah, I'm just watching Fruitful Coot on the back of Smatto. 14 lap fresher tyres. We should get a DRS and overtaking soon enough here. Question, Thomas, go for a lunch.
Thomas
Third
goes
one. He went for the gap, great move.
That was a brilliant move.
I just want to say, looking
him.
at two spell at the minute, he just looks like he's not been on the pace all race, because a pit stop is going to put him dead last. Yes, he'll have the faster tyre, but that's it.
I mean, I think the biggest thing I'm struggling to understand a little bit is how Fruitful's got back ahead of Thomas. I mean, Thomas must have had such a terrible outlap, getting those tyres up to temperature.
Yeah,
they must have been such poor, because he was probably about a second and a half back from Fruitful as well. It wasn't like it was they came out together. It was quite surprising, really.
Jordan has just let both Ferraris through, and I don't know why.
I'm not sure about that either. Didn't know McLaren was a sister company of Ferrari, but
I don't think that's very good.
I mean,
that was a sheer like let through.
I don't understand why Jay Ghost is just still staying out there though. He's just, especially for another lap, he's just hammering his strategy at the moment. You know, the potential of possibly getting maybe a top 5 or so, he's actually just falling away from him at the moment, just by staying out. I think he's staying out too long.
He's pitting this lap.
Hmm.
I mean, the only two who haven't stopped at the moment is Two Spells and Jay Ghost at the moment.
Yeah.
Big battle for 9th. Sorry to cut in there. We've got Race Boy having a look around the outside of Javi. Up to turn 4 up the hill. We've got Ferrero Rocher not far behind on a lot fresher tyres. But
and Smarto in 12th as well. Just come out from
his
pit stop.
Just pitted.
I think he should jump these guys quite comfortably, to be honest, on them tyres.
Yeah, 3.4 seconds.
Yeah, you say that, but where did you do it, Phil?
Well, I think it's just more the traction.
I
think with the extra traction, I think the better move is probably turn 2. If you get close enough into turn 1, just because of the extra grip that you get over the medium, especially because these guys, I mean, your Race Boy's done 14 laps, Javi's done 9 laps. Oh
my God, Race Boy had to pull out like out of a good woman. You should always pull out. It's safer.
He did not want to play with that big car.
No, he did not want to fire it straight in there.
But yeah, it was a close call. I know.
Perez has just pitted to come off, get them screaming mediums off the car. They've probably been screaming it over a few laps recently.
I'm also surprised Jordan stayed out.
I don't understand that. I think he's just ruined his races by staying out.
Alcatir and Lego.
I'm surprised how quickly Altakir's caught Lego though.
Yeah, but Lego's been pushing on them softs.
But even after 12 laps though, 12
laps.
He's hit the
back of the he's hit the back of him again.
I don't know if I think Altakir's got some wing damage there.
I think Lego's going really, really slow here. And I don't think it was a case of Al being too quick. I think it was a case of Lego just no grip at all.
Yeah.
To be honest, Fruitful and Thomas gained quite a bit from that.
Joined, okay, cool.
Pardon?
Not Penny's boat is joined. I think he'll be in a chat with Lego and Ferrero Rocher.
Oh yeah. I mean, to be honest, people are gaining.
Yeah, crack on, Penny, mate. Crack on, mate.
The
Lego has finally pitted.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jordan as well. And Jordan's stuck in the pits.
No.
We've got the pit glitch. Yeah.
Oh, we got the pit glitch. There it is.
Oh,
Jordan.
no.
He had it in France as well. Oh, Jordan.
No. This
We had 3
will...
of these last. I mean,
No way, man.
This will be a concern for two spell.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
the same thing might happen to him.
I mean, he still hasn't stopped though, has he? Which is surprising.
Oh, mate. Two spell hasn't pitted, and it's gonna do the same thing. We seen the same thing last night with the 2 Red Bulls. Oh, this is. But saying that, I think both McLarens weren't in the points anyway.
I think Jagos would have had quite a good opportunity to get top 5 or 6 though with the strategy he had. But I think he stayed out too late. I think that was the problem. He compromised it by staying out too late. And two spells is still maybe 2 spells is doing the medium to ultras maybe. He's staying out this.
Yeah, he's gonna have to stay out though.
Yeah, I mean,
he can't.
Mate.
I mean, to stay out that long.
I mean, ideally you want a safety car now, don't you? If you're Wizard.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that would work perfectly, wouldn't it? At the moment, I mean, I think you look at it. Offers Juan, he dropped out on lap 1. At the moment, he would have probably been in 12th place, and he'd been close to possibly getting some points. That's why it just doesn't make any sense just to pull out.
Sorry guys, how far can the ultras go on the second stint? Are we talking lap 24, 25?
I think it's got to be
easily
end
do
of
12
lap.
laps.
Yeah, about 11.
At the end.
Yeah, I think 11 or 12 laps is the possibility.
I mean, where would Wizard would come out around
37.
I mean, he would be in 11th.
He'd be in 11th.
So.
Oh no, it'd be 10th. He would be.
We've got a Williams in the grass in the barrier. Smatto at the chicane.
Oh, Smatto.
Turn 6.
Oh, he's just glitched out and he's left.
On track.
That looked like a connection issue.
Possibly. Maybe,
yeah, he glitched out then when he kept rejoining the track as well. Quite badly. So.
Nightmare. But it helps McLaren if McLaren don't have an issue.
Lego Minecraft just set the fastest lap, 1:17.9.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lego, mate, you've got to stop them lunges. I don't understand it. He's that far back. Yes, you have the tyre, you have the grip, but it looks erratic.
All you need to do is just get the better line.
Yeah, you've got the run now. Do it into turn 4. No, can't do it.
I hope not.
Can't do it.
Oh, good.
Oh, is he gonna? Oh, he's looking. He's
No,
very close.
it well.
Oh no, he hit him.
Yeah.
Lego, mate. Seriously.
I think that might have been a little bit of desync though. Maybe.
It looked like desync to me, but the problem
is
is
too close to him though. That was the thing.
We all know the
game.
Close. We all know the game has an issue with desync, and I think that'll be. I mean, if it's desync, it's desync at the end of the day. But I mean,
problem is you shouldn't put yourself in a position to sit that close.
Yeah, I mean, don't drive that close to a car, innit? Like out of respect for the people you're driving.
The thing is, you didn't really need to sit that close because it was going to be very difficult to overtake at that point, really, wasn't it? So there just wasn't really, he wasn't going to gain anything by sitting that close.
Well, I think to be fair, in general, he's been quite clumsy this race. So
yeah, all you had to do was wait for the second DRS zone after turn 1, and just get a nice clean line from turn 1, and then get past 2 spell. Instead, he went for the lunge.
Altakir's just got another 3-second penalty. So at the moment, actually, from the looks of this, Fruitful and Thomas are in prime position for 1-2 at the moment.
Being all smug because he said it would happen.
Said what would happen?
He said the pit glitch would happen.
Ah.
Good call, lad. Good call.
Well, can someone have a look at who's got what penalties at the moment? It'd be interesting to know.
Now, mate. Right.
So I think at the moment, Fruitful's in the prime position for the win at the moment, because we're Altakir. And he's staying within the 2 seconds as well at the moment. You know, Altakir hasn't pulled away at all, has he, really?
Well,
Fruitful has also got a 3-second time penalty, though.
Yeah, Thomas behind him doesn't. Jamie does. No, so Thomas has 1.
So Thomas is really in the prime position for the win at the moment, and as it stands, with Fruitful probably being second and then Altakir third. So
here we go, on ball with Wizard.
Finally stopped. I don't know why he was stuck in second there. Just
Alatakir actually has 6 seconds of penalties. So
see what ties
crucial at the end of the race.
Two-Spell puts on, and I think is it a set of ultras?
He's gone soft.
He's gone soft. That's such a strange strategy.
It's happened again.
It's happened again.
Oh, that's a glitch.
Yep.
Oh, no way, man.
What a shame.
Oh, I don't know who the mechanics are at McLaren, but they need sacking.
I think McLaren and Red Bull the mechanics down there need a bit of a sacking at the moment. I remember a while ago when it was just the Renaults used to get, the Renault cars were the ones that are getting all the glitches, but it seems to be going towards the other cars at the moment as well.
Yeah. I don't know, that green light needs a new bulb.
Yeah, but let's remember, Smarto Blank rejoined yesterday, and with Smarto disconnected, he can still get 10th place.
Yeah,
that's fair too, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I think what was it? It was just under 2 minutes, I think it was, until Blank rejoined the race in Tier 2. So, I mean, obviously Smarto would be removed from the result even if Two-Spells finished 11th, because he's not actually driving. So,
Game, man.
I think Fruitful's so close to that 3 seconds. He's just got to keep it under that 3 seconds at the moment.
Yeah, definitely right.
He's pulled half second at the moment out to get, and I think he probably knows that as well. Probably listening to his race engineer at the moment.
Yeah, well, Thomas will know how many time penalties Al has because Fruitful can check with Jeff, the driver in front. So, yeah, I think Ferrari have pulled out a good strategy this race so far. Barring nothing going wrong.
I think they've just been sensible, haven't they? Like, I mean, both the Force India boys, they've just been a bit scrappy with their overtakes and just caught up in things they didn't need to get caught up in. Where the two Ferrari drivers just kept themselves clean, kept themselves tidy, and they're in prime position to take a 1-2 potentially at the moment.
Yeah.
I wonder if Wizard's got a deck chair and he's just sunning it up. Yeah, we got movement. Oh no, we had movement. Oh, I nearly had a heart attack. Yeah, I think he's got the deck chair, he's got the pipe out, and he's stuck on his slippers.
Although saying that, the green light is on. It was red 2 minutes ago when I first checked. It's now gone green, so I'm not sure if Two-Spell has just got a deck chair, and as you said, Ricky.
Thomas and the two Ferraris are just switched around.
They've exchanged positions on turn 5.
But did you? I just got the end of that. Did
I don't get that because Thomas cannot win because he has.
That's the thing. Penalties. I mean, really. I mean, look how much time
no, he
they
doesn't.
cost
No, he
himself.
doesn't. Sorry, no, he doesn't. Thomas doesn't have any.
He just got 3 seconds.
No, he just got 3 seconds.
Oh no!
He just got one.
Commentator's curse.
And he's just dropped out the 3 seconds. With them two switching around,
no.
They've actually cost themselves a second on the track by switching round.
Yeah.
So they could. This potentially could be cost himself a race by just switching round and maybe put Thomas out of his rhythm, and he's cost himself with a penalty as well.
It's down to Fruitful now, really. If Fruitful can keep his head down and avoid. I'm not even going to say it because he probably will, but he could potentially be first. Is basically what I'm saying.
Fruitful's got a 3 second penalty as well, though, isn't he?
He does not, as far as I'm aware.
I thought
he does. 3 seconds. Yeah.
The top
one.
I think Altakir's got 6 seconds, and then Thomas and Fruitful got 3 seconds. At the moment. How many penalties has Jamie 1S got? Any penalties? Because I mean, he's sitting there comfortably in 4th at the moment. 9.5 seconds back. Oh, he's got 1. Yeah. So, I mean, if Jamie 1S if he's got any decent pace and he can start pulling in the guys in front, he could potentially get a little bit closer and maybe get something from it, maybe if the other guys get penalties more. But yeah, Lego Minecraft is within 16 seconds of the lead, and it's staying that at the moment. So the two-stop strategy is really not working for them guys at all.
No, it's not the track for the two-stop. Like, I get that you stay clear of pretty much damage at the front, but it's one of them where it really does affect your race, and yeah, I just don't understand the strategy, to be honest.
It's a difficult one. It really depends on the nature of the race and any collisions, and traffic is the other big one. But as it stands, there's not much happening apart from Race Boy going on to Ultra Softs to try to set the fastest time.
Well, compared to the Tier 2 race of last night, compared to this race, the Tier 2 race was just manic from lap 1 to lap 35, and this has been had a few moments, but it's not been as busy. No. I think that doesn't help with less cars though. I mean, 6 less cars doesn't help with the action on track neither.
Not.
Yeah, I'm just going to follow Race Boy on this simulation quali lap. He comes down the hill, turn 2.
Yeah, I'm just on board with him now.
At the moment he's the only person running.
Yeah, we might get a late surge from Lego on Jamie, but apart from that, it's looking like these could be the final positions.
I'm not sure if Fruitful's tyres have just dropped off or something, because at the moment he's lost 2 seconds by letting Thomas through to outer gear. He
Thomas
was really
has also used a lot more ERS as well. He's now saving.
Yeah, let's have a look at the ERSs at the moment. Outer gear's on about 20% at the moment. Thomas is on about the same. Fruitful's on about 50 at the moment. So Fruitful's the one that's doing the best at the moment on the ERS side of things. But I still just think that was a really bad move by the 2 Ferrari guys switching round. I mean, it's cost himself basically a 1-2 really.
Yeah.
Oh, moment from Fruitful there.
Fair enough with the first switch of the 2 Ferraris, but they were doing such a nice clean race, and they weren't really split. They weren't different. There wasn't a lot of difference in pace between the two.
Well, just from the first time though, wasn't it? Even they basically lost, both of them. Fruitful's lost 2 seconds in the second switch around, and he probably lost about a second in the first time, so he's lost 3 seconds probably, and Thomas has probably lost about a second just from the second one. So
yeah,
if realistically, if Fruitful's lost 3 seconds, he'd probably be just within DRS range of outer gear really. If he didn't let each other back through. He's the one that's lost out the most because he's let Thomas through both times. So
and it was just after the switch that Thomas got the 3 seconds. I mean, even that little lapse of concentration,
just throwing him out of his rhythm.
Yeah, exactly. You're getting to this rhythm, and then when you have to make a decision or team orders, it kind of throws you a little bit. And I think that's just what's happened with Ferrari Boy in second.
Struggle for a driver of the day. No one's really stood out as being like awesome. I think my driver of the day is going to be Jamie.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Jamie
up there and kept himself out of danger and just got on with it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, he just at the start he was sitting behind the leaders and just sitting there comfortably, not making any silly moves or anything. Probably hoping that a couple of them take each other out. Probably from when he was sitting there. He's got going to get some nice, decent points. It'd be interesting whether Lego can close the gap to him though. But I think Jamie's pace is quite comfortable to keep the gap.
I think he's got it covered.
Oh, I didn't see that actually. Race Boy has gone on to Ultra Softs, and at the moment he holds the fastest lap on a 1:16.7.
Yeah, so he's getting that extra point in ninth place, but
he's only within 3 seconds of Perez as well. I mean, I hope that goes to
the last lap. After last week, it'll be dynamite.
We have got Perez within DRS of Javi in 7th and 8th.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, how's this,
respectively.
guys? How's this going to work as well? With two spell in 11th stuck in the pitch, and Smarto technically DNF.
I
Does
would
two spell
imagine
actually
it
get
would be
points?
no points.
What for
No,
either of them?
I wouldn't think so. I'd imagine it would be both no points.
Okay, so you have to finish the race to get.
It's a certain percent that I think it's 90%.
Oh, is it 90%?
Obviously,
Okay.
neither of them have done that.
Okay, that's
Tell you what.
interesting.
Perez is all over the back of Javi with
Yes, that is
12
right.
lap softs. This will be probably the final battle of the race.
Oh, he's got to run. He's got to run in. This should be done easily. More grip. Needs a room.
Yeah, it was a good move.
But to be honest, I think Raceboy he's within 3 seconds. He could
Oh,
even potentially
Javi.
get. He could even potentially get 7th if his pace is good enough and these two guys keep
Get the
battling.
DRS. Javi just can't get on the power at all, and he's lost.
It was a nice clean battle between
He's
the two.
gaining. He's gaining. Switch it. He's going on the
He's
inside.
gonna go down. The,
Oh, Perez.
Just
I'm
turned
sorry,
into
but
him.
Perez must have seen that.
Yeah, I mean he was fully alongside him, wasn't he? At the end of the day,
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I
This
don't
is playing
understand
on the
that.
He
hands.
just turned into him.
it's
Sorry.
playing in the hands of Raceboy at the moment, though. I mean he's actually gone from being 3 seconds back to 1.1 now, and he's on the much grippier tyre, so he could even have the better of both of them at the moment.
I've got a question. Some of these guys' spatial awareness, like
Ooh,
you look behind you,
clever
you know where the
user.
car's going. Like,
Yeah, I mean it's quite shocking, really, isn't it?
Football's
supposed to
having a
be,
look on. Going on the outside. These Ferraris are
yeah,
battling 100% now.
Ooh,
People goes a bit.
Raceboy's just got a 3-second penalty, and he's just
Oh.
retired.
Oh, retire or crash?
No, he's just retired.
did he? I'm on board with Smarter.
I think he must have. I think he's
I'll
crashed.
tell you where he's lost it.
He's lost it
He's
for the
lost it.
right-hander, isn't
I reckon he's lost it at turn 4. You know.
he? Yeah, I think he has. I reckon he's probably taken too much curb. And then
New
Should
tyres.
see a stricken Red Bull somewhere. Still hasn't passed.
I think maybe he's going to put it on the curb somewhere. I don't know where he's lost it actually, to be honest.
Can't be through the chicane.
Could
Must
it be
be
the fast
sector
right-hander in sector 2?
Yeah.
Because
I
I
think
think
Smart-
yesterday, but I was on medium.
Smarto is a lap down to Raceboy though, isn't he? So unless one of you guys can stay on board with him for another lap.
Yeah, that'll be
Well,
the case of it.
I haven't seen any yellow flags here, so it's not sector 3. G-Star still loving it life in the pit lane. Alcatia starts his final lap.
Yeah, he's on his final lap of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Yeah, I think Raceboy definitely did crash.
Yeah, Raceboy will still get.
I reckon that was
P9.
probably where you said. I reckon he just jumped on that curb, and that's why he got the 3-second penalty as well, and then lost it on the curb at the same time. Oh, Altakini lost it into the chicane then. See this battle between Fruitful and Thomas still raging on right at the end. I still find it very strange though that obviously Fruitful was the one who was ahead of Thomas, and now they're battling for position. I mean, Fruitful was the one who should really probably be given that second place really.
Just go on board to P1, mate, so you cross the line.
Yeah, he's just come around the last corner now.
That's corner.
And
a win
Altakir
for
takes the win
Mercedes.
for round 12 of the Hungarian Grand
Well,
Prix.
I said he was due a big race. He's ultimately provided that. Whether or not penalties are to be added, maybe there'll be a few instances. Some
I mean,
very
to be-
debatable.
I think
driving.
I just think that really the people who the guys that have messed it up the most really more than anything is the two Ferrari guys really. You know, they had such a good potential to win the race with the penalty situation Altakir had of winning it, and they just mucked around with switching it back between each other. at the time they lost on track, there was a potential win in there, really.
Look at the state of the look at the state of the foot in here, Ferrari.
They both intentionally crashed across the line, so it shows you their kind of state of mind of the race.
Yeah. Well, I think Fruitful will be quite annoyed at that result, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
Phil, if you want to invite.
Yep. I'm on it. Top 3.
Guys.
Yeah, I mean
that was
a little bit eventful, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's Hungary. What you're not going to get fireworks, so.
I mean, I think that was probably more the type of race that probably Tier 3 and Tier 2 should have had. To be honest, with the style of track Hungary is, it's never the most interesting of Grand Prix to watch or spectate, just due to the nature of you can't overtake.
Yeah, the Monaco without the barriers kind of sums it up.
Yeah, 100%. Monaco is probably the worst one of them all, unless it's wet. So, I mean, as it stands, at the end, the result of the Hungarian Grand Prix,
we're just waiting on Wizard to retire.
Yeah, he's been in the pits for 16 minutes and 15 seconds at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's still sitting in the pits now. I mean, I presume Raceboy will get points. He'll get 2 points, I presume, because he went over 90% of the race, didn't he? I think it was only. I think he was only two laps down, was he? 2 or 3.
Yeah, there was only 2 laps left, and he set the fastest lap. And
yeah, so I mean, I think we'll get more than that, won't he? Because Smarter will be taking out the result, so he'll end up getting 3 points, which is where he was anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So we've actually only got 8 finishes from 14 starters.
I think that must be a record for Tier 1.
Yeah, I mean, the trolley jack's still on the floor for 2 spells. That's probably what's blocking him from getting out of the pits. So the Altic here on the top step again.
I'll be right back. I'm just away to mic up the drivers, ready for the interview. So it'll be 2 seconds.
Yep, no worries.
Hello.
So, once we get to the results, we'll run through the results from first down to last. So we had 8 finishes: Altakir first, Thomas second, Fruitful third, Jamie fourth, Lego fifth, Ferrer Rocher sixth, Perez seventh, Javi 8th, and then the non-finishers were Smarto, Raceboy, 2 spells, Ghosts, Raucon, and Officer Juan. So right, guys.
What?
Starting from 3rd place, which was Fruitful. How did your race go?
Well, to be honest, it was quite a good race. Thomas and I worked together quite well. We had to let each other through sometimes. But I think it was a really good race by both of us. Only the frustrating part, I lost it, and at the fast left-hander, Thomas got through. I couldn't overtake him anymore, so that's a little bit frustrating, but still, a 2-3 is really good.
Oh, okay, we did question that at the first. We just missed that point of where we thought you let Thomas back through again. But
nah,
yeah, that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah.
Right, so on to Thomas then. How did your race go, and you quite happy with your result?
Yeah, my race went quite well, to be honest. I'm really happy with the P2. Finally got another decent result in constant speed. Yeah, just like Thomas said, it was a really good teammanship this race, and it was unlucky for him that he made a mistake. I got passed, and the last 5 laps we said to each other, are we gonna fight for P2 or just gonna stay like this? And I said, nah, let's fight for it. And he had the opportunity to overtake me. Unfortunately, he made a mistake on the penultimate lap as well, so the gap was too big on the last lap. I could hold on to P2. So really good job, and I'm happy to stay at least within a really close gap to Altakir instead of 20 seconds. So yeah, happy with the result.
Yeah, I mean that was. I think to be honest, as a group effort, we actually thought you were working really well together, the pair of you. I think probably maybe switching around at the start of the race probably cost you guys a little bit of time. When you both pretty much on par with pace with each other the whole race really. But otherwise a good result from the pair of you. And now on to Altakir, our race winner. How did your race go?
Nah, a difficult race. Just first lap was a bit mad. I had a few contacts. Well, officer just pushed me wide on turn 2. Then he started zigzagging on the back straight, and then when I was parallel with him on the fast right-hander corner, I hadn't even touched him when he has a span. I think it was the synchronization problem, but yeah, it was a difficult race as well with penalties. I was just driving like a monkey, taking penalties almost everywhere.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
yeah,
I think
not an easy race.
yeah, Fruitful was so close because of the penalty situation before he had his moment in turn 4. He was actually in the shout to actually win it. Just because of the gap he had on, between you two at the time.
Well, actually, I had already got opened the gap. I think I had like 3.8 seconds, something like that. And suddenly, just when I was 2 seconds back away from Lego, he just started to slow massively on the straights and slow on the corners to slow me down. I don't know why. He was just driving like a granny on the corner section, brake testing, going really slow, and he made me lose almost 2 seconds. So
okay,
at least happy I was able to recover it back then.
Well done on your results, you three. Have you got any questions, Ricky or Oaksy, for the top 3?
Yeah, I just want to ask Al. Lap 6, I was on board, and it looked like you hit Lego to overtake him in turn 5. Did you think about giving the position back? Because it wasn't on, the move wasn't on. You basically punched him out of the way.
Well, I was trying the move. I went to the inside. He closed. We touched because he closed massively. As I saw the contact, I kept on going on the throttle just to put him straight again, and just went parallel through the next corner. I think it was just a racing incident. We came into contact because we both didn't want to seize the position, and I don't think it was unfair.
Yeah,
He closed. Yeah. So.
Sorry, Al. I just want to say, you were on the quicker tire at that point. Why did you not just wait and think? You put yourself in a position to get damaged.
Well, basically, I didn't wait because he was on the corners going massively straight to let Ferreira go away. In the last corner, he even brake tested me to slow me down on the last corner before the straight. I couldn't overtake him on the straights because he was just brake testing us on the last corner. So I had to move. I had to go for the move on the corner section. If I had waited to the straight, he would have brake tested me again on the last corner, and I wasn't. I didn't want to that to happen again, so I just went for the move.
Okay, mate. That's a ask.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I don't actually have any questions. You guys have pretty much covered the whole lot. Congratulations to Al, just for first place.
Thanks.
And podium, Thomas and Fruitful, well done. Thanks, guys. And if you want to just wrap it up, Phil. Phil, if you want to just wrap up.
This has been round 12 of Hungary, and well done to the top 3 and the other drivers. Thank you for watching, and see you again next time.